The final Raw of 2019 took place from Hartford, Connecticut. You had KO make his way to the ring. He's one of the bright spots on Raw for sure. He went on for a while. He called up the AOP. I don't really care about when Seth Rollins, they came out. There was some stuff. We're going to skip through that. I'm sorry, no one really cares about that. Samoa Joe came out to attack Seth Rollins. A whole bunch of melee broke out. KO wishes the security a happy birthday. I want to skip because there's a lot more stuff to talk about on this show, so let's just get this through. Aleister Black against Buddy Murphy. Decent matchup here. Both guys are very talented. I'm a fan of them both. I like Aleister. I think he can be a big star. I think in 2020, if they really want to go all the way with this guy, they could. I don't think he's going to Royal Rumble or anything like that, but I think he could get a good push. He could be a world champion. I wouldn't shock me at all to see him win one of the main belts in 2020. But, he could be a situation where he gets put on the shelf, or, they forget about him. They have nothing for him because they don't want to beat him, but they don't want to give him a major belt, so he just gets lost in the shuffle, and they forget about him, and he goes back to doing nothing again. That could easily happen. But he beat Buddy Murphy here. He's beaten him a whole bunch of times, but they had a good matchup here. I liked him. I like Buddy, but he won't go past a certain level. Aleister with the win. He come in Razor. Argue backstage. Seth Rollins tries to call him down, and he has security and guards with them, and he's going to leave on his own. You had Lana getting her makeup done. Eric Rowan congratulates her, and this was just stupid, and this was just awful. We were back, and they talk about the injury Randy Orton has, so no one really, that set up a long angle. It was horrible. This was not a good show. Eric Rowan against Kip Stevens. Eric Rowan with the win. He won, not a long match, quick matchup. We go to Lana's room. They show her preparing for the wedding, and she rubs herself down on her tits, so it's pretty hot. They go back. There's a commercial. Let me come back. Charlotte Flair is out. She's wrestling. She's in her gear, but she cuts a promo for her. She says she's officially announcing she's entering Women's Royal Rumble. She says everyone knew she was going to be in the Rumble, but why state the obvious? She can talk about being a 10-time champion, main eventing WrestleMania, being the first one to main event a pay-per-view, and that she is the greatest of all time. She can talk about being the first woman to enter the Royal Rumble. Charlotte says she's the best person of the decade to announce they are in the Royal Rumble. Charlotte says she's so tired about being the queen of the beach. She says she wants to show you. She has her favorite robe and her boots are laced, and she basically issues an open challenge. Natalya comes out, and bathroom break. I'm kidding. So Charlotte and Natalya, come on, who's going to win this match? I wonder who's going to win. They've had so many matches. All of them are good, but, who wins every one of those matches? That's Charlotte. She always wins, so it was a decent match. It was just, I don't really know why they're even doing it for, but they went to a commercial during it. They come back. They have a good matchup here. Charlotte is able to finally get the figure eight. Natty taps out. Charlotte with the win. Charlie Caruso's in the back with Becky Lynch. Charlie asked Becky about her challenge for Asuka, and she asked for an update. Becky says at the Royal Rumble it will be the man versus Asuka, and Becky talks about her contract, and she posted that stupid tweet that I saw. Oh, such a bad angle. No one cares about this. This angle sucks. This is stupid as hell. I don't want to see this. I think this is a horrible angle. This whole contract expiring. Why do they even have to do this? Why do they have to do this shit? Just have Becky and Asuka. But they had the whole thing with Charlie Caruso trying to get something out of Becky. She's doubting herself. She does not know if she can beat Asuka. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like they're doing a bad job at Becky again. I'm a bit worried the fans are going to turn on her. And she's been champ for a while. I think she'll probably lose the title at WrestleMania because she's going to hold on to it for sure until then. But it'll be a whole year, and I think maybe, I don't know, the fans are going to turn on her eventually. How much longer? I think she's clearly peaked. And I think she had a great run, though. Well, she did. She didn't. She got hot and she got the main event because of her character. But I think she's peaked for sure. There's a Liv Morgan promo, and a lot would happen with Liv Morgan later in the show. Oh God, well, I have a lot to say about that. Oh, the OC comes up. I'm gonna fall asleep. I swear, I like AJ Giles and Anderson. I'm a huge AJ fan, but oh my God, the OC is so boring. Holy shit, those guys suck. Montez Ford, some stupid shit. All right, we have a match. Giles Anderson with AJ Styles against Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. It was an okay matchup here. I'm going to skip over some of the stuff that happened later in the show because I really need to talk about what happened at the end. But Ford and Dawkins with the win. They had Vic Joseph on the announce table announced that Becky Lynch Asuka is official for the Royal Rumble, and I thought him and Jerry Lawler tonight were not good. I thought they were awful. They needed someone else. I like Joe a lot. I thought he was great. It's just you're not going to get Joe. He's going to wrestle again. I guess you could. I don't know if you can bring in. You're going to bring in a third guy. He'll announce it for next year, but it's interesting. Also, I wanted to let you know I'm not watching Roman Reigns and Dolph Ziggler. That's the New Year's thing tomorrow night. WWE has their relationship with Fox, and Fox is showing during New Year's celebration a match. It's Roman Reigns against Dolph Ziggler. I will not be watching that. I will not be watching that stupid New Year's bash. I'm going to have a little bit of the bubbly on tomorrow night. Nah, not interested in watching that shit. And I'm certainly not. I mean, who's going to win? Who could win? Roman Reigns or Dolph Ziggler? Who is going to win? Okay. They had some stuff. Lana backstage getting ready. They show McIntyre cut a promo no one really cared about. Hawkins and Ryder face McIntyre. Who cares about this shit? McIntyre with the win. So the two big angles they had were Randy Orton and Lana and Lashley. Randy Orton, he comes out next. They actually announced before that Brock Lesnar's on Raw next week. So his first appearance, I mean, it'll probably be he'll probably just jump in the ring for 20 minutes while Paul Heyman cuts a promo. Rey Mysterio is getting a rematch against Andrade next week. Was Andrade on the show? Did I miss something with Andrade? Yeah, he'd come up later. Sorry. Viking Raiders. They face a triple threat tag team match for the tag titles against the OC against the Street Profits. I think next week they have a free week. It's the week after, I believe, is when they're fucked. That's when they have to go up against the College Football Championship. So, but they moved the championship the next week. So on the 6th, they should be okay. Should have a decent rating, I assume. But then football's done. They'll be fine again. Orton is on his way to the ring. It's just horrible. He's on crutches. You know this is all bullshit. You know it's so fake. Like he's just like he can't walk and he has to like slide into the ring and it's embarrassing. It's just oh god. See, there's no way he would allow this to happen. It's like he's fine. He's 100% okay. So he says injuries can happen at any time. People who perform in this ring know that can happen. And he mentions Edge. He says Edge had to retire. Okay. Edge is coming back in 2020. Let's just call it what it is. He'll be back. He mentioned Edge. I think Edge comes back in 2020. He's back. He said he heard something pop on his knee, and he's going on. And he wants to make sure someone gets RKO'd at WrestleMania. He'll be there. So AJ Styles interrupts. This is the worst shit. AJ just mocks Orange for an hour. I swear to God, all I heard is AJ's southern accent. Yelling at Randy Orton. And Orton's just trying not, like he's barely selling it. Orton kicks at one of the crutches, or AJ kicks the crutch from Orton, and Orton has to hold onto the ropes for like 20 minutes. This is just the worst segment ever. This goes forever, just like it would never end. He keeps cutting the promo. Eventually, Orton responds to him, and he walks up to him, and he gives him an RKO, and surprise, surprise, his knees 100%. Oh, this sucked. This segment sucked. I hated this. This went on for a fucking eternity. Like, oh, please end, please end, please end. It finally ended. What a horrible segment. They show highlights from Andrade winning the title at MSG from Rey Mysterio. They show the Rey promo. Next, Andrade faces some guy. Oh my, like, Zelina Vega's unbelievable. She comes out. Andrade's there, and Zelina's wearing this red dress. She is insane. She's posting pictures on Instagram. I'm like, God, Zelina Vega is fucking hot. Holy shit, that fucking red dress. Jesus. Like, I basically foam at the mouth when I talk about her every fucking time I do videos, but for fuck's sake, Zelina Vega is hot. Jesus, my God. Andrade faced Silver. I wish you could show the camera on the whole match, but Andrade with the win, no surprise. All of a sudden, Ricochet comes out, he challenges him to a match. This goes on for a while. Like at this point, they're just killing time, for the inevitable. We're just waiting. Like I'm thinking to myself, let's just go to the lighting. Come on. And eventually, Andrade won, and that would be it. Andrade gets the win. So here we are. Lana's getting ready in the back, and they show Zelina and Andrade cutting a promo, and Andrade's asked by one of the chicks, I think it's Charlie or Sarah, one of them, says he is going to beat Ray. Okay, they're doing the wedding thing now. Here it comes. Lashley comes out. He comes out alone. Lana comes out in her dress, looking great, I have to say. And this is the worst segment of all time. One of the worst. They have this wedding guy, the master of ceremony, I don't know his fucking name. He is going on for an hour, like just will not stop over. Like it must have gone on for an hour and a half. Like this is just the worst shit. Lana and Lashley eventually give their vows. Lana goes on. It just will not end. She is just not stopping. Eventually says she loves Lashley, starts to kiss him. And Lashley eventually does a little stupid promo, vows himself. It is horrible. Like, the acting is just so bad here. Lana is just oh my god, this sucks. Lashley goes on and on. And eventually they're about to tie the knot. They have all the wedding stuff there. They have a giant cake. What's going to happen there? What's going to happen when you have a giant fucking cake? What the hell could happen in WWE with a giant goddamn cake? Who's jumping out of it? They had the whole wedding sets. They had the white there. They didn't take out the ring robes. I remember when I used to watch all the weddings in WWE, they'd always remove the ring robes, but they left the ring robes on here. And do you object? Here we go. He's about to say, do you object? And eventually Lana has some guy come out. I don't know who this guy is. Some dude. He says Lana married her, and he was married to Lana. Was his first. She was his first wife, and he was Lana's first wife. And then Lashley chokeslams him. Lashley, and they're about to do it again, and then all of a sudden, Bobby Lashley, his ex-wife, comes out. She's a second objection. They met in the military, and she wants to stop it, and eventually Lana, before this lady just walks to the ramp, Lana just slaps her and she falls to the ground. That's it. And then finally, they're about to marry, and we have a third objection. It's Liv Morgan. She says, this wedding has to stop. She is so sorry this cannot go on. The love of her life is there. She wouldn't have made it through this year if it wasn't for their love. She came to WWE as a lost soul. She was a wild child hoping that her dreams would come true. She fell in love, and Bobby is saying, I never touched her, like he's denying it, and then Liv says she's not talking about Lonnie, and she's not talking about Lashley, she's talking about Lana. She tells Lana she loves her, and she wants to know why she's doing this. Lana freaks out. She attacks Liv, smashes her against the base, beats her up. Her and Liv have a huge cat fight. It's an ECW-style cat fight. They're fighting all over each other. You're just winning. Come on, Rusev, get in there. Jump out of the cake to end this. Eventually, they separate. They pull Liv away. Lashley and Lana are going to get married. They're finally going to get married. And here he comes. Rusev jumps out of the top of the cake. He attacks Bobby Lashley. It's real cake. He slams him into the cake. It's a giant wedding cake. Destroys him. Lana is shocked. Rusev crushes Lashley with a super kick. Liv Morgan comes back. She smashes Lana's face into the wedding cake. Rusev and Liv stand tall as the show ends. Oh my god. That was fucking horrendous. Wow, okay. I remember I was thinking to myself, I saw Sonya Deville or someone tweet this. I was thinking this should be SmackDown. I love the storyline they're doing right now. Mandy Rose and what's his name? Otis. They should do that. Like this, they should have saved that for SmackDown. Do a giant wedding celebration. Mandy and Otis are gonna get married, and eventually Sonya objects. She tells Mandy she loves her. She kisses her. She's really a lesbian. That would have been such a better storyline than this fucking thing. Solid Monster even recommended it on his podcast last night. This segment sucked. Like, they're going to forget about this. That they should have done. That would have been a perfect segment for SmackDown. That would have been amazing. Actually, a really great segment. This was shit. This was a horrible way to end the fucking year. Worst segment of the year ends the year. What a horrible show. Oh, that segment sucked. It was fucking horrendous. What a horrible way to end not only the year, but the decade. The worst segment of the decade.